Most of you have heard of a couple, Marie Curie and her husband Pierre Curie. This story has been printed in class 7 English book on chapter 9. This story is very interesting for me. Hope it's also going to be very interesting for you. When I was very young, at the time I thought that I would like to be Pierre Curie and I'd like to marry Marie Curie. Why? Because Marie Curie could also want to get Nobel Prize. So Pierre Curie got Nobel Prize and later he died in a road accident. Later his wife even got another Nobel Prize. So she got 2 Nobel Prizes, but Pierre Curie got one because he had a premature death because of road accident. So let's go about this story. Family, research and love were going hand in hand in Marie and Pierre's lives. So the couple was so much fond of research. They were in love with each other and they believed in a peaceful family where both husband and wife would be equally outstanding, most talented. So family, research and love were going hand in hand. So when you are with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you walk hand in hand. It's not that hand in hand. It's something one is with the other. Suppose if you are a beautiful girl, you should be virtuous. So beauty and if you have virtues, they should be together. It's not just enough if you are beautiful and unfaithful, no. If you are ugly and unfaithful, no. If you are faithful at the same time, you are ugly, no. Both of them are precious. But faithfulness is even more precious because one day your beauty will fade away, but your faithfulness will be your asset. So research, family, all these things go hand in hand in Marie and Pierre Curie's life, known as the mother of modern physics. So who was the mother? The mother of physics, Marie Curie, and there was a lot of contributions of Pierre Curie to her. As a husband, he was not just good for his knowledge, it was also good for his wife's knowledge. And that is why wife continued researching even after her husband died of road accident early. Okay, so Marie Curie and her husband Pierre Curie jointly began research on radioactive material. You know, radioactive. When someone had a cancer and had an operation, there could be chemotherapy and later she or he could have radiotherapy. So radioactive is powerful. Because of radiotherapy, the cancer cells even are killed. So it has special power. So radioactive, this is something special. And Marie Curie was the mother of physics. Can you imagine such a wonderful lady? And at that time, very few women studied. At the time, studies were not as important as today. Okay, so Marie and Pierre won the Nobel Prize in 1903. So the husband and the wife both did it. We can guess that wife was meritorious as she was the mother of physics, but still what we can say is that Pierre Curie was even more intelligent, right? But he did not try his best alone. He took his wife with him. If you look at Rabindranath Tagore, what happened? He went to Europe, he went to England, and there his wife was studying. He wanted his wife to study so that she can learn, so that when he recites his poetry, she will appreciate. But unfortunately, she was not that type. She couldn't continue studies in England. She was not that, stupid, but still, if you look at the other women, even Rabindranath's sister-in-law, elder brother's wife, she was much more meritorious. She was a translator and she used to love Rabindranath's poetry, Rabindranath's literary works, and that's why Rabindranath was so much fascinated with his sister-in-law. People think that they had sexual relationship like that. Probably no. Rabindranath was so young and his sister-in-law was also young. There could not be something like that. There could have been, there are allegations, but that not much based on the facts, whatever. So this studies. So Rabindranath wanted his wife to be educated, to be talented, to be interested in his literary works. So Pierre Curie in that sense is much close to Rabindranath Tagore, because Pierre Curie won the Nobel Prize in 1903. It doesn't mean that he himself got it. He got it in collaboration with his wife. And what do you think? Probably Pierre Curie was contributing to her education, to her research, to her writing. But he did not want to get it alone. He took his wife in beside him. For this invention, not only did the two do research together, but they also shared household chores. Can you imagine? Ringing curtain, the mosquito net doesn't necessarily mean the work of the wife alone. Both the husband and the wife should share their household chores, household activities. Whenever you talk to your student, if you ask what's your father, they usually say, government employee or business officer or something good. But when you tell what's your mother, they will say, my mother is a housewife. So Pierre Curie is not that sort of man. He took his wife beside him. He learned, he taught, he started researching together. And that's why in 1903 they both won Nobel Prize. Can you imagine? So let's go more about it. So not only did the two do research together, but they also shared household chores. One day Marie Curie cooked and Pierre Curie cooked the other day. They shared the same household activities, chores. They used to go out on their bicycles during work. Can you imagine? They were so romantic at the same time. Pierre Curie rode bicycle and his wife Marie Curie was sitting. So when they were outside, they were bicycling. And bicycling is very good for health, everybody knows. Swimming is very good for health. We always use motor cars, we use motorcycles, engine-driven vehicles we always ride in. But bicycling is a fantastic means of exercise, bodybuilding, getting fit, keeping fit. So he used to go outside by bicycle and she was also with him. That was so interesting, very helpful. They used to go out on their bicycles during work. This is how their happy life was passing. Can you imagine when husband and wife are together? Whatever they do together. Maybe studies, maybe research, maybe bicycling, maybe gossiping, maybe moving, maybe traveling, whatever. That was something miraculous. And that's why it's included in class 7 books so that the students get motivated. The students understand that girls are equal. Girls can also participate. Girls can also try their best to get Nobel Prize. There's nothing wrong with girls. Girls do not lag behind. It's all because we don't think that girls can be intelligent. Very rubbish, right? And it was long ago this example was set. Yeah, that's why it said. This is how their happy life was passing. In the meantime, they had two children, very nice. They had two children, and they are Irene Curie and Eve Curie. Marie Curie, Pierre Curie, Irene Curie, Eve Curie. So wife took the last part of her husband's name, and the daughters took the last part of their father's name. That's a kind of combination, family affairs. And what happened? During this happy time, the year 1903, after 3 years of the Nobel Prize, what happened? Terrible accident took place. 1996. It came with bad news. Pierre Curie died in a road accident. What a disaster. Such a great man. As his wife got second Nobel Prize, it means he could have got second Nobel Prize. There could have been 3 Nobel Prizes, 4 Nobel Prizes, because they were together. Can you imagine? Husband and wife relationship should be like this. So a couple should be like them. That's why when I was very young, I was thinking that I would like to get Nobel Prize or something special. I'd learn a lot. I'll study like that. And my wife would also be beside. If I only win Nobel Prize, then that's not that good. My wife should also get Nobel Prize. Whatever you think you can't do it, there may be problems, whatever. What you wish can't be done all the time, but still you should wish like this, okay? However, Marie Curie did not stop there. Even when her husband died, it was disastrous. It was such a sad story in her life, devastating story, but still she did not stop there. She continued research and she got another Nobel Prize, even without the presence of her husband, Pierre Curie. She took up incomplete research, and in 1911 she became the first scientist to receive the second Nobel Prize. Can you imagine? So in 1903, they got Nobel Prize together, jointly in collaboration with each other. After 3 years, in 1906, Pierre Curie died of a road accident. And after 5 years, that is in 1911, she got another Nobel Prize. And can you imagine, she was the only woman who got second Nobel Prize in scientific research. But you understand that Pierre Curie left a lot of research paper, research item, right? And all those things his wife took up. That's how she got easily the second Nobel Prize, and it was the only woman she got it. But this time in chemistry, so in the first one, it was on radioactive, right? Research on radioactive, and here it's on not in physics, it's in chemistry. So she was such a great lady. She got Nobel Prize with her husband in physics, but now she got another Nobel Prize in chemistry. But this time in chemistry, then she tried to find out how radioactivity could be used in medicine. Can you imagine? Radioactivity, as I told you, when someone got a kind of disease, cancer, he or she got operated, then if something is wrong, if there's metastasis, then what will happen? The cancer will spread further, will rebirth. It will have rebirth. So what's important is you have to have chemotherapy. And when you have problem still, there may be a suspicion that the cancer is not absolutely uprooted. Then you need radiotherapy. And here you see she got Nobel Prize in radioactive research. Later, she tried to match it with the medical science, medicine, and that's why you understand. But this time in chemistry, then she tried to find out how radioactivity could be used in medicine. She was successful in this work and used it in the First World War. First World War took place between 1914 to 1919. Second World War was between 1940 and 1945. So 1939 and 1945. Third World War we don't expect because world doesn't like any more world war. That's why the United Nations were established, right? So that no third world war takes place. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.